These videos are, always uncomfortable to make because it's addressing a deep truth that goes unnoticed by a lot of people, and in particular, the women in today's society. And me standing here speaking my truth upon what it means to be a woman, I guess for myself, but also what has happened to femininity and how it's causing a level of destruction on multiple levels of our existence. And it saddens me the most is how we're profiting off of a woman's empowerment when it's the complete opposite of that. Programming our women to think that being an online prostitute is better than being a stay-at-home mom. Participating in being a slut is actually celebrated instead of being questioned by the women who are now single, lonely, and who were participating in the very things that cause themselves to be lowered in value. Is this harsh? Yes, it's harsh. Does it need to be addressed? Yes, it needs to be addressed. Am I doing this out of love? Yes, I'm doing this out of love. The truth can hurt. But when we are not aware of the very things that are causing not only destruction within our women, but our men, it's silly to think that the more women are over-sexualized and programmed to be that way. Why are women more so than ever programmed to be over-sexualized? Because they get something out of it. They get something that they don't get when they're just in themselves. A lot of women play up this persona, play up this character, put on this sex appeal when they're out and about, wanting to get attention from people all the time. But what type of attention are you seeking? It would be delusional to think that a woman who has had multiple sexual partners is someone that is set up to be with a man long term. Your parabon is getting messed up if you're sleeping with person to person to person. We're profiting off of one another's weak points. And this is why I talk about these uncomfortable topics. I want there to be healthier female examples that don't promote exposing their goods online and thinking that that's actually acceptable. Because for me, it's not acceptable. And that's why it's so hard for me to be a woman in today's society. Connecting to women is actually hard for me. And now I'm in a position in my life where I can look back and take accountability for all of my wrongdoings, all the very things I participated in that not only made myself weak, but in return was adding fuel to the fire that is to demolish the masculine and feminine framework of the polarities of today's society. So for anyone listening to this, I really want to ask you, why do you do the things you do? And to really sit with that question. For me, people look at me as I'm a pick-me girl because I make videos dedicated towards men. But what people don't understand, me making these videos is not only for men. It's for women. It's to set ourselves up to be able to actually come back inside of ourselves instead of feeling like it's normal to fracture ourselves off. The more men feel like it's acceptable to sleep around with multiple women, and the more so women feel like that's an empowering thing, you're losing connection to yourself. You're losing connection to what you're actually wanting. Are you wanting to be single and alone? Are you wanting to be overly sexualized in a way that what? Provides you with what? Attention from weak men that you wouldn't even want. Why would a woman want a man who constantly simps over the modern day women? And why would a man want the modern day woman who has no self-respect for herself, knows no such thing as value? Core values that has been lost in our culture today. This is why I'm so passionate about these subjects. Because if we don't acknowledge what's going on here, there will be no such thing as seeing possibility for change. And change happens when other people can see what's happening. And what's happening, not a lot of people have the eyes for. They'd rather be glued to their phone, posting themselves in bikini photos when they're like 30 plus with no man, no children, constantly needing this addiction for attention to be fulfilled and fulfilled. While being a boss babe, independent babe, empowered person, we need to come back down to earth and have respect for ourselves, ladies. Respect that does not come by constantly chasing the next man and the next man and the next man. And then actually being delusional to think that it's the men in our society today that have the problem. It's both of us. The men who simp over these women are just as in fault as the women who are posting themselves in this way. What do you gain out of the very things you give your attention to? It really is the truth, you guys. Look around society today. Look at how many people are walking around single. Look on your phone, on Instagram, how many of these influencers who over-sexualize themselves, do they have a man? Are they 30 plus with no child, no man, etc.? But it's a free will planet. I just ask everyone today to see what's going on. It's not normal for the woman's body to be so easily accessible. Literally, pull up your phone, type in whatever you want to see, and you can do that. So how are you supposed to even respect the female body when women aren't even respecting themselves? And how can a woman respect a man who has no structure in his life and is controlled by his sexual urges? We need to wake up and we need to change and we need to better our lives. And this is by talking about the very things in our culture today, our society, that's just being pushed under the rug. I want for my future children, my future daughter, to have role models that she can actually look up to, that showcases a level of femininity that has nothing to do with over-sexualizing herself, has nothing to do with putting down men, has nothing to do with dimming her light in order to gain another person's validation for something that she has not found within herself. And that's what we're doing. Listen to all the musical artists that are celebrities right now. It's all based upon sexuality, because that's what sells. But guess what else sells when we do that? Our soul. And I talk about this not to shame our sexuality, but it's to actually have a relationship to it. To actually have a relationship to ourselves and what we are wanting and truly deserving of. And I ask women, please don't place blame on the men when you are playing a part in their weakness. And men, don't blame our women if you're validating the very modern day women you complain about. So this is my rant today. I like doing an occasional rant, and it's really not to suppress women even more. The fact that I'm even having to have this conversation as a 24-year-old woman, telling women of our culture today that being a stay-at-home mom or valuing wanting to have long-term partnerships and respect for men, I'm looked at as something that's wrong. That's something that I'm hating women for. And that's not the case. It's evidence of my love that I have for our women. And I say this because I was in it. I was in the over-sexualization. I was in destructive patterns. I was not setting myself up for success. But at the end of the day, people can do whatever they want. But my intention is just to question the things that you do. Because it saddens me to see that the child rates are going down. More people than ever are single. People are using their phone as an outlet to gain these short-term fulfillments that are sinking them deeper and deeper into their own despair. And at some point, you're going to have to wake up. And I hope it's not by the time you're 40, with not even a huge Instagram following, but you spending years showcasing yourself half naked for what? I want healthy relationships. I want people to have self-respect. sacredness to who they are in their soul, and to not fragment themselves for short-term fulfillment. That's what hookup culture is doing. That's what the promotion of the woman's body is doing. Sexualized everywhere. Movies, rap, songs, Instagram, everywhere, YouTube even. It's sad. So that's my video today, and I hope you guys gained something out of it. Again, I do this out of the bottom of my heart because I care deeply. So if you like today's video, give it a like and let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.